Okay, here's a look at Studio Series 86 number 30, which is Autobot Springer. Here's a look at the front of the box, back of the box, product images, side of the box, artwork of Springer, other side, close-up artwork of his head, top of the box, Transformers, the movie logo, bottom, words and stuff. So that's a look at the box. And now, here, let's come down a little bit, is a look at the figure. But first, let's go over all the accessories that you get. Starting first with the instructions, which you heard me complain many times. It's not done in that booklet style, so you have to go through this opening just to be able to see all of this. So it shows you the accessories, the sword, how to articulate the hand for the feature. Then the white ones, all the steps for the transformation. But the transformation is actually pretty fun and easy. Because if you know me, I told you I like to figure out how to transform them. So I take my time to figure it out. And it's actually fun. And I could tell you transformation's pretty easy. So that's the instructions. And in terms of the accessories. So first, let's start off here. You do get these two guns, which I think are the same that came with the original Siege version of Springer. And then you do get a sword, which is silver. So this one's actually a toon and movie accurate. When he's fighting with the sword, it should be silver. But this one, this green sword, he didn't really have a green sword, but he did have green propellers for the helicopter mode. So that's basically what this should be for. So you do get that, and that's nice that it's green. And then you do get the what is that, missile from the movie. But yeah, if you see what I see, it's not painted. So that's obviously going to be one of my complaints, that Hasbro, you know, they're going to do this on purpose for their retail figures, just saving costs, but you know, it's still a little nuisance there. And then you do get his handgun, which is more toon and screen accurate. And you could see this is nicely sculpted. I like the way they use the left and right side, so there's no waffles, no screws, so it looks really nice. And last, I'm not very familiar with the IDW and stuff, but I guess this is the Springer from IDW. So he has like a hammer thing if you know you wanted to use that for some reason. And of course, all these accessories, you can attach them to these ports and put them on however you want. I don't need to go through all of that because that's not the way I'm going to have Springer displayed. So now let's do this first. Let's compare this Springer with the animation model and see how well they captured the toon aesthetics. And you could see this version, they did a nice job. Like the center of his chest there has that kind of square shape in there. The shoulders are now articulated a little bit more of an angle. It's not 100% perfect, but you know, this is a mainline retail figure. But they did fix, you know, these little jetpack things for this version. So this one is actually more toon accurate. So in terms of toon accuracy, I think they did a much better job. Actually, I really like this figure much better than their Siege version. So here you could see the comparison between the two. And I'm not going to point out all the difference. You can just kind of see the difference. But as far as the figure goes, it's pretty much the same. This is basically just a retool, repaint. So like the back here, you could see the little jetpacks here. That's more toon accurate. This one, I'll just say, is the Siege version. And then you do get the articulated shoulders here, which is nice. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's the difference with the original. And let's come up close here and look at how nicely sculpted this head is. This is a very tune accurate Springer head, so I really like the way they handled this head. This looks really nice. It's nicely sculpted, nicely painted, but yeah, it's a really nice head. But unfortunately, you don't really get good amount of articulation. You just get like a swivel left and right. Not really. You do get like a head tilt down, not really back, because you could see they didn't really give enough room for head articulation. But that's a nice head. And then the shoulders, so they do go forward, back, out to the side, and then here, I don't know what you call these, shoulder pads, but you can articulate these also, so you can get some nice articulation there. And then you do get bicep swivel, which is actually on the lower end because it doesn't swivel up here. You do get a elbow joint, you do get fist rotation, and I guess for this expensive leader class, they give you extra point of articulation with the hands that can open up. And then the waist does rotate, but no ab crunch. But you can fake it till you make it with the legs that can go forward, back, out to the side. You get thigh rotation. You do get a knee joint here, which is more than 90 degrees. And then the feet, you do get ankle rocker all the way. You do get a little toe tilt up, but and then not really toe tilt down. So just your standard articulation for a mainline retail figure. So it's actually really nice. So I'll show you one feature here from the movie when he pulled out his little gun from his forearm. So to do that, you want to rotate his forearm 180, rotate his hand 180, and then come over here and you want to lift open this piece, and you could see there's that little gun thing. There is a little groove that you can use to pull it out, and you can kind of replicate that scene where he's firing. But yeah, I guess that's nice. But here, this thing keeps moving around, so here's some issue here with the tolerance, but you could work around it. So that's just the feature there. And let's see, I don't think I want to go over all these accessories, but you know, you can attach these wherever you want. I mean, this doesn't make sense to me. He never really used that. He did have the sword when he was fighting Rekgar, so this is kind of cool if you wanted to kind of replicate that scene. And of course he did have his gun, and then he did have this missile thing from the movie, which is not painted like it should be, but it's a mainline retail figure, so you can kind of have him holding that. So that's a look at Springer in his robot mode. So now let's transform him to his vehicle alt mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at Springer in his vehicle alt mode, and first, as always, let's compare this with the animation model. And you could see, for the most part, they did a nice job capturing all the tune aesthetics. Just little things are off, such as this spiky spoiler here is a little low. The wheel shouldn't be exposed, but for mainline retail, I think they did a nice job. And the back's pretty much the same thing. They did a nice job. And if you look at the front wheel here, you could see they did painted green on this version, so that is more tune accurate, which is nice. And you could see just the other details here. It looks really nice. They did a nice job on this figure overall. So in terms of comparison, here is the previous Siege version, and hopefully you could see the difference. One of the main difference here is this back. which has these thrusters, which are tune accurate. This one, they kind of made up their own version here. Those yellow jet thrusters back there. But I guess this was okay for the Siege version, but you could see the difference here. So yeah, and in terms of the accessories here, it's nothing really to point out other than this rose. And if you want, which is not my thing, you can just pick and choose however you want to attach all these accessories on here. I guess this is fun if you like playing around with it. So you could take his guns here and attach them to the side, and maybe even take his main gun here and just attach it up here. So you can do something like that if you want. That's kind of cool, but that's not really my thing. But I just thought I'd point out, you know, you can attach all these accessories to any one of these ports wherever you find them on the figure. So that's a look at the alt mode, and now let's transform him into his helicopter mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at the alt mode. And first, let me give my complaint that for the price point of this figure, Hasbro was too cheap to give us a display stand for this helicopter alt mode. And that's just the same thing that they did with their Studio Series swoop. So I just wanted to point that out because that's not really good. But with that said, let's compare this with the animation model. And you could see that it's pretty close to the animation model. I mean, I could nitpick this to death, like the tire shouldn't be exposed there. And I think one major complaint is right here, these, I don't know what you call it, but it should be yellow, but it's they were too lazy to paint it. But other than that, it does look nice. And then here with the retool feature here, that is more tune accurate. So yeah, it does look really nice. And even like on the bottom view, the shape overall looks really nice. So yeah, I think overall it's a nice figure. And for some comparisons, let's compare this with the previous version, and you could just see the differences. I'm not going to point everything out, I'll just let you see the difference. Like I said, here they made this more tune accurate. Here, this one, there was their own stylized version here, but obviously this one definitely looks much better. And in terms of features for the helicopter mode, it's basically just the spinning blades here. And if you see here, I did angle it up because this is more tune accurate, but I don't know if that's the instructions, but you know, to put it flat, that's not tune accurate. But I did put it up at an angle, and the blades don't seem to get in the way. So yeah, this works nice. It looks nice. So that's a look at the helicopter mode. So now let's transform him back to robot mode and compare him with some other season 3 figures and have our final thoughts. Okay, here's a look at Springer back in robot mode, and this is really a nice figure. I'll just tell you that. The quality of the plastic is better than their previous version, which I didn't mention. The Siege version, it's kind of like a harder plastic. This one is kind of like a little bit softer. It's still hard, but it has like a little bit of softness to it. So yeah, I just want to say again that I really like this figure because it definitely captures a lot of the movie aesthetics. It's more tune accurate. So with that said, let's bring out some of the other season 3. So we know Springer, we can't have Springer without RC. And I know some people always complain about this version of RC, but actually the sculpt and of this figure, both in robot and alt mode, is actually really nice. My only little nitpick is that it's not fully painted. Like you could see her waist is not gray on the side, and then the center here, the details, it's not painted red there. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a reissue of this. So that's a look at Springer next to RC, and I'm glad that's happening because I forgot to mention one of the issues with this Springer figure is that he doesn't stand too well because his feet, yeah, they didn't really make this very tight. I mean, first of all, it's a pin, so yeah, it kind of slopes backwards, so you just have to really adjust this so that he stands straight. So here is next to RC, and let's just pick out a random one. RC was always with Hot Rod, so you could see what this looks like. Yeah, so it looks nice. And then Hot Rod was always next to Cup, and this one's the buzzing bumblebee with the painted windows. So that's just Hasbro's way of getting you to buy more of their figures. And then RC was always with Wheelie and Daniel. We don't have a Daniel, but here is a Spike. So maybe we're still waiting for Daniel, Studio Series Daniel with the exosuit. We did get it with the Studio Series Slag, but that one's really not good. So you could see what this looks like. And then let's see. Let's bring out Wreck-Gar, because yeah, Wreck-Gar was battling it out with Springer, and that was like a cool scene to see those two guys together. And let's just bring out Blur next to Wheelie, and you could see what this looks like here. Trying to make sure I got room for all these guys. So Blur and Wheelie, I'm just going to pretend he's Daniel. And Hot Rod and RC and Springer and Wreck-Gar. And then, you know, this is probably going to be our next Commander class, a reissue or a retool, redecal of Rodimus, because there's just so many things that are just not tune accurate with this version. But you could see what he looks like. I'm just going to put him up here because last we have Ultra Magnus. So now here you could see what all these guys look like together, and this is really a nice set for mainline retail. I think this is a really nice set. So here's the best group shot that I can give you guys, and just let you know I'm actually really happy with this set. Just again waiting for new updated version of Rodimus, and I think this will be okay. I might have to customize this to fix it, but yeah, here's just a look at all of them. And as far as Springer goes, like I said, I really like this figure. This is a really nice figure. Springer is not really my favorite character, but the colors, the design, especially when they make this figure very tune accurate, I really like it a lot. So I'm just going to end it there. That's my review for the Studio Series 86 Springer.